Hello again. So in the previous episode, I briefly explained the objective of mood boards. Mood boards, let's say it again, mood boards are a strong tool to visualize and to express our ideas. But how to get to the mood board? Now, to get to the mood board, we have to follow a real method. Although we are creative people, although we work or we walk in the creativity field, we have to apply a quite rational methodology in order to get to the perfect visualization of our mood board. So, what are the steps of this very interesting process? First of all, when we get a theme or when we get an inspiration or when we get a professional brief, we should always ask ourselves what is the theme about? What is the inspiration about? So the process starts from here to understand the context, to understand the subject, to understand the identity of our theme. Without a deep understanding of the content matter, we should never be able to develop any creative outcome. So let's go in order, right? Let's follow some important steps. So first of all, understand the theme. What is my research about? Then start to investigate about the meaning of your inspiration. Once you have fully understood the theme or the brief, you should also start to investigate about the meaning of the theme. Let's say that what we have in front, it's a combination, guys, of an aesthetic coming from countryside, minimal, and urban. I mean, I'm synthesizing what we see in this slide. So we should start by asking ourselves, what does it mean urban? What does it mean minimalism? What does it mean countryside? And our visual research start right from the meaning of these theme keywords. Then, what's the third step to undertake? Develop the research through a diverse, through a range of diverse interpretations. Right? What does it mean, a range of diverse interpretation? That you should dig into many different fields, such as art, for example, photography, fashion, culture, tradition. We will see this later, in order to understand how to interpret the theme. Once you have started to understand how to interpret the theme, you will start to put together the input or the visual sources. Now, before getting into this process a little bit better, let's never forget that creative people are people that are able to look beyond the surface of images. So we are the ones that are called the visionaries. We are people able to have visions while looking, for example, at a range of images, or just at one image, or simply looking at a texture or a material. A creative person working in this field is able to dive into fantastical realms. Now, through the research methodology, through an in-depth research, you will get not only a knowledge, but also you will get a lot of discoveries that will get you enabled to translate the initial inspiration into something very original. Now, I prepared for you a simple but hopefully straightforward example. So let's say that our inspiration starts from two very generic images and two very generic keywords, organic and crafted. How should we act as people that must develop visual interpretation? We should start, first of all, to understand what our two material and the keyword can express, to therefore go into our own visions. Now, the images you are seeing that I put together, starting from organic and crafted, at the end, they must have something connecting with the initial two images. In this way, first of all, I will please the brief given. I will accomplish my inspiration triggering an idea, but also my interpretation will give the possibility to enter in different alternatives from the simple organic and crafted interpretations. Now, where do we start? I've said we have to conduct an in-depth research, but how do we start this in-depth research? First of all, never forget to give an intellectual base to your visual context. No matter what is the theme, you can start from organic, you can start from alpine, you can start from retro keyword. You always have to give an intellectual context. Then understand the context and understand how to interpret that context in order, first of all, to be able to be original in translating the initial brief into something that will be your own vision. Now, what are the sources to never forget to undertake and to take into account? First of all, magazines, books, be updated on art exhibition, be updated in all visual field outcome, and remember, this research process is continuous and never-ending. Most of all, when people like us work in this visual field, we won't never stop our research because we are greedy of discovering new possibilities. In fact, if we start from simple flowers, for us, banal flowers, as the one you see in the two aside images, our objective through the research is to provide the initial inspiration with alternative possibilities, something that will amuse ourselves, something that will give our process a kind of originality, and mostly also something that will give our client the possibility to tell that we are prepared. Now, I have summarized for you here some good resources to take into account while undertaking the process of visual research. Now, what you see in this mood board comes from the method I'm briefly explaining to you. Images coming from different realms, not always coming from the same context, they will be able to convey your final idea through the visual tool that we have called the mood board. So these are some sources that we have to take into our knowledge and into our methodology to undertake the research method. So never stop to consult magazines, be updated with the latest visual editorials. Don't forget to consult visual books of any kind, art, photography, design, architecture, cultures. Everything that you can find visually can be connected to your initial theme. Also, don't forget to visit art exhibition, take part to performances, to be part of the music scene, or at least to understand what's going on in the contemporary moment. Then obviously consult social media, take inspiration from them, and least but not last, consulting internet is always good if it's done with a professional way. Now, some other sources of interest for who conduct this research can be not only read magazine, but also stay updated with all the the news upcoming in the visual fields. Also, be able to open your eyes and understanding who are the edgy, for example, subcultures that could define a trend. Subscribe blogs, look at internet, follow social media. Everything, as you are understanding, is good to develop a great visual research. In the next episode, I will take you to the realization of the mood board. So the process of the visual research will then get to our final objective.